Hmm. It's really gonna be interesting. But what's up, MB fam, and welcome to another great edition of Music Monday. Specifically, today is going to be another fantastic edition of singer battles. Specifically, we're doing gospel versus R&B edition of Singer Battle, and today we have a great lineup. Today, doing a lineup of gospel singers versus R&B singers, but you know how we do it. Before we get started, we like to kick off our usual thing, so without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off the theme. So, theme music. All right, as I was saying earlier, we're doing single battles, gospel versus R&B, and got a amazing lineup. So if you're not familiar with how this works, we take, normally I do 10, but because I don't have a lot of time today, I'm only going to do 5 versus 5. Normally I do 10 versus 10, but because it's going to be a short day, I'm only going to do 5 versus 5. And if I didn't say it 10,000 times already, we're doing gospel artists versus R&B artists. So yeah, anyway, let's get started. And by the way, in case you're interested, we won't be playing any music whatsoever because, yeah, I don't have that kind of money. But anyway, round one, we have, and I thought this would be really interesting to see. We have Jonathan McReynolds versus R&B artist Miguel. I had to really think about this because, like, sound wise, I thought it would be like picking these artists as far as like who would go against each other was like really difficult because it's not easy choosing like the best of the best of like who would go against each other. Etc. So it took a while for me to come up with this entire list. I could, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on because as I said before, I don't have all day, and I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this. But moving on to round two, we have Tasha Cobbs versus Mary J. Blige. That alone in itself should say in itself how much I thought it is. And for those of you who aren't very familiar with who any of these artists are, you can feel free to go to YouTube after this and look up both of these artists because we live in a world in technology now, so there's really no reason for us not to go to our phones. We probably spend more phone time on our phones than we do anything else. But moving on to round three, we have Jacqueline Carr. I don't know. It took me years to figure out that I was saying her name wrong. Versus Jasmine Sullivan. I thought this match would be perfect considering Jacqueline's range is up there with ladies that are twice her age. She has a very powerful voice, as well as Jasmine Sullivan, who is also a very powerful singer. And as I stated before, any of these artists, you can go, once this is done, you can look all of them up and see how they sound. Anyway, moving on to round four, we have Travis Green versus Khalid. This was probably the most interesting, well, one of the most interesting out of my list, because as far as like gospel artists, pairing Travis Green with a R&B artist is like, okay, who do I pair this guy with? This was a really interesting matchup for me. As I said, it would have taken me a long time to figure out vocal wise and other things. I know it sounds like frustrated because I have a lot of things on my mind. That's why I'm not really in the game today. But yeah, but moving on to the fifth and final round, which is Catherine Hawthorne. I'm sorry, I did it wrong. Karen Hawthorne versus LMA, which is another interesting matchup because I could have chose literally anyone to go against Karen Hawthorne, but I thought LMA was the perfect person to match Karen Hawthorne on literally every level. And then some. But yeah, all of these artists that I have spent the last couple days putting this list together was not just thrown together at random. I literally took time and put this together thinking who would be best in a real life battle. But let me know what you all think about the list I put here as far as singing battle, gospel versus R&B, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe and give a like if you like, but that's gonna do it for me. I am the one and only MB Music Man. As always, stay safe, be blessed, and enjoy your day.